What's up? How y'all doing? It's Lugamonger. If somebody were to ask me what my favorite knife is, I would probably give some bullshit answer like, for what application? What are you tactical or bushcraft or utility or EDC, When in reality, I know what my favorite knife is. I just like to talk about knives. My favorite knife is a 162 Bushcrafter from Benchmade. Shane Seibert design. This knife is just fantastic. It's honestly not the best bushcrafting knife for dedicated bushcraft. It does deliver some hot spots. The handle shape isn't the most ergonomic for extended use. However, it is the most utilitarian knife design I've ever come across. This thing will just do anything you really want it to. I mean, it will function as a defensive blade. It will function as a bushcrafting knife. It will do hard work. It will function, if you want to use it as a pry bar, you can see that reinforced tip there. It's actually not reinforced, but it's just pretty stout. It's got a decently thick tip. Fantastic grind, S30V blade, so you're going to be able to use it for an extended period and, not ever really have to sharpen it in the field unless you're in the field for an extended period. It's just, it's pretty. It looks really good. It's a great looking knife. The green, the red liners. This is not the knife, however, that I am specifically making this video about. I like this knife so much. I've had this for about a year. Show you with the sheath. It's held up. The sheath's got a lot of dings. It's got a lot of dents on it, but it's held up relatively well. The button retention still works very well. You can see the interior here. It's all been rubbed in. Very nice. It's worn in almost perfectly. See, the fit is that's honestly about where it was out of the box. I do have this strap on here just so that I can loop it through. Give myself that extra little bit of retention. This is kind of like the old guy method. I can pop that over. When I'm actually have this in my belt line, if I fold that down into my belt line, and so my belt is actually holding that metal ring down, the retention on this strap, it actually can't come off. You see that? It can't. So when I do need this, I can pop this up out of my belt line, take the sheath off. So it gives a lot of retention, a lot of stability when needed. But this is the knife I wanted to make this video about. I like this knife so much. I was in the store today. I went in there to look at a 943 Osborne, and I saw this thing sitting in the case, and I couldn't leave it there. I just really couldn't. This is the 162 EOD. It's the exact same knife. Give you the specs. It's a 4.4 inch blade, 0.164 inch thick. Overall is 9.15 inches. The handle thickness is 0.92 inches, which is one of the reasons I just love this knife so much. It's 7.72 ounces. The MSRP is $215. The sheath weight, if you're concerned about that, this sheath, the Kydex for the 162-1, which is the EOD model, is 1.86 ounces. The leather sheath for the 162 model is 2.7 ounces. So it's a great little package, but the way that this knife is actually designed, you can see the choils allows you to choke up quite well on the knife. It just gives a superior purchase to this blade. I just have a better, I don't know, I've got a better grip on this knife than a lot of other competitive offerings in this type of knife. I don't actually have too many that fall into this price range, but this is a Master Hunter from Cold Steel. I've seen a lot of people talk about this as a bushcrafting knife. You see how thin that tip is? it's got a distal taper on it. This is it's a master hunter, and honestly, this is a fantastic hunting knife. But it will function as a bushcrafting knife. But when you throw it up, you know what I mean, you throw just the blade profile up against something like this 162, it really puts it into perspective on strength and durability. I mean, you can just see that and know, you know, this is a great knife, but it's not what, you know, something I'm going to choose if I can only have one knife. You know, this is actually just a new one. I just wanted to bring this in because it actually reminds me a little bit of this guy here. I think just because of the leather sheath, but isn't this a fantastic looking blade? This is the activator. It's the shit. What number is this? 201. It's the 201 activator. But I think this is just a fantastic looking knife. I mean, it's beautiful. Look at that. Rosewood handles. This has actually been discontinued. Snody design. I picked this one up about a month ago. D2 blade steel. I'm going to be doing a review on this one shortly. I really like this. This has been my kind of dress knife on the weekends when I'm not looking like a bum. This is kind of what I've been using. The belt loop is broken in kind of weird. But I like that one. See that satin, two-tone, it's got a stone wash and then just the striations up top, left up top. The way that they've ground that blade, you can see that the actual taper line comes down towards the point here, and so it's less of a taper. You have less of that distilled taper coming down the front section of the blade than you do here, which gives a great you know, geometry for that actual cutting edge, because you have that long relief grind. But up at the top, to reinforce that tip, it's not as steep of a relief of an actual grind, and so it makes that, you know, gives the ability to have that tip reinforced. I don't know if you can see it there. The grind is actually a little bit off on this one. It's not off to the point where, you know, I'm concerned. That doesn't bother me. But it is, the grind is just a few degrees off. And as well, on the interior here, you can see the sculpting on this G10 is different on both sides. You see, it comes in further over here. That's not the case with the 162. 162 is just dead even. If I can get it to refocus in here. But on both sides, you see that? Both sides are the same. They come in the same amount. It's actually got the same markings. Kind of upswept. The milling on this is not done as well. You can see this, the flat section on the bottom of the blade here is at a strange angle. It's not actually flat to the bottom of the knife. And it's larger in comparison. You see that? So it's at a different angle than the original, and it's a lot larger of a flat section. I don't know if that's by design or just kind of a fluke in production. I don't know. It doesn't really give too much of a difference. Either way, you're still going to be able to have a good purchase coming down. But that's a 162 Bushcrafter from Shane Siebert. Before I do any of that, actually stop this video. It's the same old song and dance. Who the hell designs Benchmade sheaths? This pisses me off. It's cool. Look at that retention. The retention is great, don't get me wrong. There's no rattle either. I mean, I can actually, you know, you can hear my chair rattling. This isn't, and I mean, it does have a decent retention. I almost stabbed myself right there. But I mean, you know, it's got a good retention, But at the same time, the only thing really holding it in is this little tiny lip up front, and then there's a minor indentation here to where it actually mounts into that hole. You can see that? And so that's not going to last very long. Not securely, at least. I mean, it's going to hold it for probably ever, but how securely is it going to hold it? I mean, who the hell designs best knives in the world? Obviously, that's my opinion, but what the crap? Y'all have a good one.